welcome to another exciting edition of the PMB Sports Show. I'm your host, Abel Sunday. We turn focus to the unfolding development in La Liga, where the title race has taken a dramatic shift. Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid continue to drop valuable points, raising serious questions about their ability to reclaim the La Liga crown for a consistent improving Barcelona team. The momentum at the top is shifting and the pressure is mounting. Meanwhile, Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid observe the situation from a strategic distance, poised to capitalize on any further slip-ups as the season progresses. To provide expert analysis on this emerging storyline, we are joined virtually by our seasoned analyst Errol John from the ancient city of Benin, and also Walter Odige from the Center of Excellent Lagos. Grab your teacup because P&B Sports start now. It's the P&B Sports, right? Reaching you live from the nation's capital. And I've been joined virtually from Benin. Eru, good morning. And how is Benin this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Sonny. It's been a while. It's a pleasure.
It's actually, I was on leave. I was not around. I was on leave ever since. So I just got back. And of course, it's good to have you here on the show again.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you. I hope you brought something from UK.
Definitely. It's not UK actually. It's just somewhere close to Gwarimpa. No problem. Of course, you're going to see it. I brought something from Gwarimpa for you. Definitely, you're going to get it. Definitely, you will. Okay, let's dive into the conversation, Eru. And our focus now is on La Liga today. And Real Madrid, I don't know. Real Madrid dropping points again despite dominating possession. I don't know. Do you think there's a problem? Because I don't know. 3 games now, they've dropped points. They've dropped valuable points. And Barcelona already has catch up. So let me hear your take on that. What is Xabi Alonso doing?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I think I don't think it's entirely a Xabi Alonso problem. I think this is something that every football team faces at some point in time. You know, the inconsistency is largely a thing to talk about. This is Xabi Alonso's first season as a Real Madrid coach. You know, he's still trying to get the team together. He's still trying to get his tactics into the players. These are players that have been playing a different kind of football for the past number of seasons that Carlo Ancelotti was there. He's still trying to get things in shape. And then when you are playing games, your opponents they don't come to the pitch to break melon, like I will always say. They are not there for a masquerade competition or a masquerade dance festival. They are also there to win. Everybody is on the pitch to win. There are 22 players on the pitch. All have the same thing. I want to win. So these things happen. Yes, we are already gradually going into the season. They are dropping valuable points, like I said, which should not be happening if you want to win the title. Because I always tell people, it is the number of points you are able to gather early enough that determines whether you stand a chance. Because at some point in the season, you begin to play sometimes 2 days interval, 3 days interval. You begin to play so many competitions. There's the La Liga, there's the Champions League, there's the Copa del Rey. You begin to play a lot of competitions. You begin to have injuries, fatigue will begin to set in on some of your players. And so it will begin to tell on the team, especially teams that do not have squad depth or teams that have a lot of players who are not informed. So I think what is happening to Real Madrid now is something that happens to every team. It's a transition phase for them from one manager to another, And I think the new manager, Zabi Alonso, is still trying so hard to get his pieces together. This is first season. Well, let's watch him. Let's give him time. We have seen him prove himself in the German Bundesliga. I am strongly of the opinion that he can also prove himself in the LaLiga. In this same season, we have also seen the same Barcelona. This is not the first time they are topping the table. They were top before Real Madrid overtook them. They also dropped valuable points along the line. They also lost some games. They even lost to this Real Madrid side. So we are still seeing the inconsistencies from all sides this season, and we are just watching as things unfold. So I don't think it's a call for worry. It's a call for so much worry in quotes, except for the fact that you don't need to lose so many games if you want to win the title. You don't need to draw so many games. They've lost a valuable number of 6 points from the 3 games that they've had back-to-back draws. That's the problem. That's a huge one. That's something to think about. But let's see what goes on along the line.
All right, let's see what goes on along the line. And Eru, I wanted to share more light on that the handball. You know, Kylian Mbappe scored the first goal, and it was ruled out for handball. Do you agree, or do you agree with the VAR that was actually a handball? Because the way I saw that thing, it's like he got to his leg, then he now used the leg to. I don't think his hand actually got to that ball. But I just want to hear from you. I want to hear your view on that end. And you know, after that decision was made, they now went back because they got a goal, right? So they went one down after they ruled out that goal against Real Madrid. Let me get your take on that.
You know, I've always been of the opinion that the VAR technology, the video assistant referee, is a very controversial system. Very, very, very controversial. Emphasis on controversial. Controversial in the sense that what you see that the rule as an offside today, that same exact thing will happen tomorrow. They will rule it as a goal. What you see that they rule as a penalty today, it will happen tomorrow. The same exact thing, sometimes the same exact position. They rule it as not being a penalty. So it is always very difficult to determine whether, is this really. Personally, I don't think that was a handball, because like you rightly said, I share your sentiment. I watched that. I even had to go and watch the highlights of that game again after watching the match. And I saw, from what I saw, the ball got to his leg before his hand. So I personally don't think that was a handball. I don't think that was a handball. But then the video assistant referee gave the call that it's a handball. And then this thing leaves you to think. Same applies for. And let me make a reference. In the last game, Chelsea, I know we're not talking about Chelsea. In the last Chelsea, the Arsenal game, Moses Caicedo got a red card. Yes, that was a pure red card. I'm not disputing it. When Anthony Taylor even issued a yellow card, I was surprised. That was a straight red. Thank God the VAR gave the call. But let me take your mind back. Chelsea against Tottenham, this same season, Bentancur made at the same exact tackle on Reece James. And guess what? He was issued a yellow card. Guess what? The VAR did not. You begin to wonder what happened. What is happening to this technology?
The consistency is a problem here, isn't it? The consistency is a problem here, isn't it?
Yes, the consistency is a big problem for me. So many a times I don't even know whether to say, VAR gave the right call. Now, mind you, let's watch out. You see that ball that gave a call for a handball against Kylian Mbappe. Go and watch. It will happen again in La Liga tomorrow. They will give it as a goal. So it's a problem. I don't know how they come up with their rules. I don't know how they come up with their decisions. So I would say the VAR is a very inconsistent technological system, very inconsistent with their decisions. And then I think it's really a call for concern. The Referee Association, they need to look into this. We have had so many coaches complain. We have had so many players complain. We have heard so many takes on the VAR. It's a very inconsistent system. But personally, I don't think that was a handball from my own perspective.
Okay, fine. Then, like, as we move further, you saw what what is his name again? I'm talking about Real Madrid forward. I'm trying to get the name now. Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior tormented the opponent so long, and also he was rewarded with a penalty kick. Do you see Junior doing so well under Xabi Alonso? You know, when Xabi Alonso came in, we're like, Are you sure, because he was having issues with Ancelotti before Ancelotti left. But was like, because of his attitude, everybody was like, he's a kind of but no, not really Balotelli as a whole, but it's something close to Balotelli. Balotelli is a very raw and very arrogant, sorry to use that word. But Junior is like he's heading towards that direction. Not really Balotelli, you get, but something close to him. But we're thinking that under the leadership of Xavi might be tempted to force him out. But the way he's playing now, do you think is somebody that will be a very crucial piece of Xavi Alonso's plan?
Okay, personally, for now, I think the most important player in Xabi Alonso's plan is Kylian Mbappe, but that's not the question. Vinicius Junior is a very important player for Real Madrid. He is a very good player. He's quite skillful. He's a player you can bank on. He has saved Real Madrid's face so many times. At the time, he was the one carrying Real Madrid. We cannot deny that fact. He was carrying the team basically on his shoulders. I think he will be a very good player for Xabi Alonso and his pattern of play. I think, considering the fact that Xabi Alonso plays a high press, I think Vinicius Junior is a perfect fit for that plan. I think he has the qualities to excel under coach Xabi Alonso. He has the qualities to do so well. But you see, there are some coaches that no matter how good you are, no matter how superb you are, no matter how crucial or important you are to them, there are some things they don't jeopardize, they don't take for granted. And character is one of them. I've always had problems with with Vinicius Junior's character. You see, I don't know whether it is peculiar to South Americans. They have this aggressive nature. Brazilians, to be precise. They are quite aggressive. They are quite you see them on the pitch. We have so many of them. Neymar, what's his name now? They have Rafinha. They have this aggression in them. Joao Pedro. There are just a few of them that are cool-headed. South Americans in general. So it's a call for concern. I personally think if you don't work on your attitude as a player, if you don't work on your character, your talent is not just enough. You go to the bench. You mentioned Balotelli. We have had players who have ruined their career, not because they are not good players, but because of their character. One of the things that people are trolling Lamine Yamal for today is the way he talks. You're always talking. You're always having something to say. You're always making derogatory statements. So it's a problem when you are very talented, you are skillful, you are good on the ball, and then you off the pitch. What's your character like? What energy do you bring to the dressing room? Are you the kind of player that wants to turn the dressing room upside down before the very eyes of the coach? You go to the bench. You certainly have to sit it out. I mean, nobody wants to have such players in their team. Why did Manchester United say Garnacho? It wasn't because he was not a talented player. It wasn't because he wasn't good enough. It was because of his character problem. Do you understand? Why did they let Marcus Rashford go? Same thing. So when you begin to do these things and you are beginning to bring problems to the club, the coach begins to see that, you are beginning to turn the dressing room against him. You are beginning to form a cartel in the dressing room. I'm sure you just have to go. No matter how important you are, you have to go. Somehow, someday, sometime, someone better will come on board. So that's what I think. I think Vinicius, yes, he is a very important player for Xabi Alonso because of the way he plays and the contribution he brings to the team. And then, most importantly, he's very versatile. He can play as a false nine, he can play as a winger, he can drop deep because he has space, he has strength, he has dribbling abilities, he can cut in, he can shoot, he can create chances. But then, beyond all of this, I also think he needs to work on himself, or else, before you know it, he will have to give way.
Okay, well said then, Mr. Heru. Let's move over to Barcelona. Of course, you mentioned Barcelona before now. Let's bring Barcelona to the conversation. And I think, to be honest, Hansi Flick have done well with the team, even with one or two addition. I think he's able to blend those guys together. And going down, but my worries now, and where I want us to really focus on, is their defensive lapses, because they went down very early on their last La Liga game. and he had to come. I think we had to see the intervention of Lamine Yamal, bringing them back to the game. So with that, I wanted to share more light on that defensive lapses. Do you see that kind of defense? That is a defense that can mount on any La Liga game, or that can win a La Liga title. Sorry, I think that's the word I have to use. Do you see that defense? That is a defense that can win a La Liga title.
To be very honest with you, Mr. Sonny, I don't see it as a defense that can win the La Liga title. I'm being honest with you. You know, I think the last time Barcelona had a solid defense structure was the partnership of Gerard Piqué and Puyol. That was the last time Barcelona had a solid defensive structure. Ever since those two players got off the team, from that empty field, quote me anywhere, I'll defend it. They've never had a very solid defensive structure. Mind you, even during the time of Messi, Suarez, Neymar, the MS10, they were always conceding. What made them a very formidable side was the fact that you could score 5 and they would score 10. Because they had the likes of Luis Suarez, they had the likes of Neymar, they had the likes of Messi, they had the likes of Iniesta behind them. So that wasn't the problem. They had Rakitic at that time. So that was why they didn't seem like, oh, they were always losing, they were winning titles, because no matter how many you score, you are certain or almost certain that the attack of Barcelona was going to do the same and do more damage. If you score 5, they score 10. But as it is now, they are still a very good side. Attacking wise, they are still up there. Although they have a few lapses, they like Lewandowski, it is very glaring that he is now old. There's not so many things he can do anymore. Rafinha went out injured, just got back. Yamal also just got back from injuries. We have Rashford, who obviously cannot do it alone. We have I always call him below par Ferran Torres. But you see that defensive lineup of Barcelona right now, and they can't stand the test of time. I bet you, especially for the fact that they are playing both in the Champions League, they are playing La Liga, they are playing the Copa del Rey. They can't stand it. The reason is they don't have very solid. For example, let me single out. Koundé used to be a very solid defender when he got to Barcelona, but this season I don't really know what's happening to Koundé. Arajo seems to have a very high level of indiscipline. I think his red card against Chelsea was the second or third he's getting this season. You want to sustain that? You can't sustain that. This is also a player that if he's not red carded in every game, in almost every match, he's always picking up a yellow card. This cannot be sustained. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah.
You can't continue like this, because the moment you get a yellow card as a defender, everything you are doing on the pitch, you have to limit it, because at some point any little mistake can cost you a red card and cost your game. And then you look at the bench, who's on the bench, and you're Christensen. These players are not good enough. These players are not solid enough. They don't have the squad depth when it comes to their defensive lineup. And so it's going to be a problem for them if they should meet solid attacking teams. It's always going to be a problem. So I think going into the January transfer window, I am suggesting that they get 1 or 2 defenders to solidify the team, because.
But I was thinking that with them coming back from 1 goal to 3 to win that game, from 1 goal to win that game 3-1, it shows that they have a robust squad, or should I say they have a fragile mentality. Them going down the drain, 1 goal. Do you get? So, but my own opinion, I was thinking for them coming down from 1 goal to 3-1 win, they have a robust squad. But that's by the way. Let's move over to Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone is looking from the distance, and you agree with me that in all indication, Atletico Madrid is one of the third force in La Liga. Not quite recently when we were having the likes of Valencia and what have you that are coming in. But if you want to call Real Madrid, Barcelona, the next person you call, or the next team rather you call, is Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone is watching them from far. Do you think he's going to capitalize on any slips, any lapses, any how I call it, any lapses from both teams? Do you think Diego Simeone is going to capitalize on it, or he's still just going to sit, relax, and watch quickly, so that we can talk about? I want us to really talk about Manchester United. I learned that they were overstamping that team. I think we need to brutalize that team today.
Diego Simeone, I always call him. There's a name I call him. I call him the landlord of La Liga.
True.
because he has spent so many years in that.
But
in
arguably,
that club.
he should be the long-serving manager in the world right now. Arguably, because he has been.
I strongly think so. I think if there is any other person,
Yeah.
then it's not in Europe.
Yeah.
But I think in Europe, it's the longest-serving
Manager now.
So, Atletico Madrid at the moment, like you said, I support you 100. If any of the Barcelona or Real Madrid should sleep, Atletico Madrid will take this. The reason is this. I managed to watch their Champions League game against Inter Milan, and I saw that this season, Diego Simeone is doing something different in that team. We all know Atletico Madrid to be a very defensive side. They always sit back. But I bet you against Inter Milan, what I watched from the first to 90th minute, they were all out. And then I think they signed some very dangerous and useful players. The likes of Julian Alvarez is doing so well for that team. He's contributing so much. We have seen him score goals this season. A lot. As a matter of fact, if Atletico Madrid wins a game 2-0, Julian Alvarez scored one or both. If they win 1-0, Julian Alvarez scored the goal. So his good contributions this season have been massive for the team. They have the likes of Gallagher in midfield that is doing so well. A team that Griezmann is presently playing from the bench.
Exactly.
That should tell you the quality they have in that team. A team that Antonio Griezmann is currently playing from the bench.
That tells you how depth the squad is. The squad is.
So imagine having to substitute a player and then you are seeing Antonio Griezmann jogging. You see that team has a squad there. So I think strongly that if either of Barcelona or Real Madrid should just slip off, Atletico will take it. I think they beat Real Madrid or they beat Barcelona. I know they've played one of those the both teams this season and they won the game. So
it's Madrid. It's Madrid. Real Madrid. I think they beat Real Madrid.
They beat Real Madrid. So that shows you that the Diego Simeone and his team, they've not come to jokes. They've not come to play. They are a formidable side. They are strong. I see them as strong contenders. They are presently in the top 4. And if Barcelona and Real Madrid should continue dropping points and drawing games, Atletico may just get it up there. Yeah.
Okay, you said it all. But let's move because we're running out of time. Let's move. Okay, this was 5-2. Yeah, that's my producer just carried the move for screen. Bam! It's 5-2. Yeah, they lost. Real Madrid lost to. Is a Madrid derby actually. But let's go to Manchester United quickly as we wrap up. Do you see? I don't know. Are you convinced with Ruben Amorim? Because what he's doing now, you see that. In fact, that's the story of Manchester since Alex Ferguson left. It will look as if they are doing so well. Then all of a sudden they go back to 0. Yeah, they were able to put up 4 performances together. They were able to then bam to Everton, 10 man. They lost that game. One would expect that they wouldn't riot on Everton after Everton got a red card. But no, the reverse was the case. It's as if Everton is even having up to 15 men on court. On the pitch. I don't know what is really going on with Ruben Amorim's tactics and his boys. What is going on with them?
Manchester United.
Because you know why, sorry to cut you short, you know why, I spoke to the principal thing, I think before I traveled, and he was saying, yeah, he still believes in the philosophy of Ruben Amorim, he's trying to build up, but with this, come on, he's even a year already in that team, and still yet, we've not seen the footprints. Over to you, please, go ahead.
I think what is happening at Manchester United is quite unfortunate. I call it unfortunate because at a time when we all were beginning to think that, oh, Ruben Amorim has found the missing piece in the puzzle. It seems as though somebody went to scatter the entire puzzle and he has to start again. Because what I see is he will lose 2 games. When talks are beginning to come, he will win 1. You're going to lose another 2 and win 1. You're going to lose another 2 and win 1. How can you lose to a 10-man Everton at home, at Old Trafford? I think somebody said Everton fought themselves to get a red card and they still beat you. A goal that they scored in the first half. It's appalling. I know football, anything happens, but it says a lot about the quality of football you play in that football club. I've always said it that this pattern of play that he uses cannot stand the test of time. Quote me anywhere. let me speak pidgin. They not use that for football again. It won't stand the test of time. How many coaches do you still see play 3-man defense? Nobody does that again in football. It doesn't work that way. You see, he has to, and then he's a very stubborn manager. I've always said he has to be flexible. You saw what Enzo Maresca said when he was interviewed before the Arsenal game. He said every game has a different approach. The fact that you use this formation today to play this team does not mean that it will work against this team. And that's why you see that this season Manchester United is very predictable. Very predictable in the sense that everybody already knows that Ruben Amorim will come and play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 formation. So they already find the loophole. They already know how to mark the players. The only thing people are not sure of is whether Mason Mount will start. Every other person gets a starting spot. And so it's a problem. It's a problem. When you become too predictable, it's a big problem. You are not going to win any tactical manager in football. Go to anywhere. When you are a very predictable team, there's no tactical manager you defeat. Because he has spent his entire week watching your games. He has spent his entire week knowing who the weak link is. And he will always capitalize on that. They will always capitalize on that. So I think Ruben Amorim, even if he sees this is 3-4-3 formation as something that is helping him slowly, he needs to develop a backup plan. I have watched Manchester United against Everton. The formation was not working. It was very clear that Everton had already mapped out what was going to happen. They already knew where to mark, who to put. This man did not change the formation. This man was there, hoping for a miracle. It doesn't work like that in football, sir. It doesn't work like that. Change the tactics. Change the players.
To even should I say should worsen the issue. Manchester United is not in any European championship anymore, just only the league. And if you are playing, which is you are playing a fewer game. So if you are playing a fewer, your players should be fresh. I don't think you should be dropping points to Everton, 10-man Everton. Like, come on. I don't think that should be accepted. I'm just trying to add what. Yeah.
How can you train from Monday to Sunday to come and lose on Monday? You are not. Somebody said, I saw on Twitter that Manchester United have not traveled out of England this season. And the person is very correct. Because you are not playing in any competition that is outside of England. What's it called? The Capital One Cup that you have crashed out of, you played it in England. The FA Cup that is coming, you are going to play it in England. So you have not had cause to travel this season, and then you are losing. You are only playing in the Premier League as at now. Meanwhile, a Chelsea side, an Arsenal side,
that are playing in Europe, they are still doing well in the league. Yeah, true.
They are winning games. What excuse do you have? You don't have any excuse. One would have thought that this season, Manchester United at this point in time will be contending for the top 4, even if they are not top of the table. So what do we have? They are dragging 9th, 10th position with Liverpool.
I think you said it all. My in-law said something, and I'll still repeat it. I think I've said it here before. He said if Ruben Amorim can concentrate on the team apart from his hair, I think the team would have done better, because I think he concentrated on his hair more than the team. Well, that's my in-law that said, not me, it's my in-law. He's an Arsenal fan. So he's the one that said that. You said
the funny part?
Yeah.
You know the funny part? AFCON is coming. He is going to lose the 2 most important players in his formation.
Yeah.
I think Brian Mbemo is not going to AFCON. Cameroon did not qualify.
But this guy will go now. Diallo? Yeah. Yeah, we'll go.
Ahmad will go. He's the bedrock of that formation. I've always said it, and I will prove it. He's the bedrock of that formation. Go and watch all the games that Ahmad Diallo was taking off. They did not win it.
All right, thank you so much. In fact, we've run out of time. I want to thank you so much. Thank you very much for your analysis on P&B Sport this morning. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of P&B Sports Show. Our sincere appreciation goes to our analyst, Eru John, from the ancient city of Benin, and Walter that was unable to make it from the Center of Excellence, Lagos, for their insightful contribution on the dynamics of LaLiga title race. Thank you so much, Mr. Eru.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, you can connect with us on all social media platforms, on YouTube and Facebook at Politics and Business Television.English, on at IG at PNBTV_English, on X at PNBTV_ENG. I'm Abel Sunday, and for me and the entire team in Abuja, I say goodbye.